Woke employee who refused to work while mourning Roe v. Wade fired. Doesn't look like he's going to get pregnant anytime soon or get anyone pregnant. So yeah, he could be an ally. I'm pro-choice, so I get it. But Roe v. Wade just, the overturning of Roe v. Wade. The overturning of Roe v. Wade. Now, so the overturning of Roe v. Wade just kicks it back down to the states. So, if those states, by and large, have the voting power to ensure that abortions aren't banned or to overturn them by kicking out those politicians, then they could do that. You can have nonprofit organizations. This is the world of the internet and social media. To be an ally, you don't have to, become a puddle of goo in order to support women and their right to choose and all this stuff. All you have to do is be like, hey, look, I support women's right to choose what she does with her body, to get an abortion if she needs to or wants to for whatever reason. Certain states will ban it, but, we have tools in place where we can mobilize people to support anyone who needs to go to another state that where abortion is legal to get an abortion. So it sucks that the Supreme Court decided to kick it back down to the states, but the Democrats should have ensured that this right was in the Constitution. It's been 40-something years, 50 years, I don't even know. But it's been a bunch of years where they had a chance to make sure that this would be, ironclad, but they didn't do it. So, I guess we got to take care of this stuff ourselves. It's like, okay. A woke Universal Music Group worker claims he was fired for speaking up about abortion rights after he admitted he refused to work because he was in mourning over the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. How is him refusing to work going to help anyone who has an issue needing an abortion? It doesn't. This is performative bullshit. So he got himself fired because he's in mourning over the overturning of Roe v. Wade. But that doesn't help. Him getting fired doesn't help anybody, including himself. Now he's putting other people in the position to, pay his goddamn bills, help him get another job. He's wasted all these resources because of this performative nonsense. And this is what I further point. So I think this story is funny, even though I'm actually pro-choice. But I'm glad this guy was fired because the problem with activists is that they're unreasonable. And a lot of times they know their position is unreasonable, which is why they're so adamant and they push it so much. But what's needed is that they need real world consequences to this behavior. Like, they're not in college anymore. They can't just complain that the professor showed a video where somebody used a slur and then accuse the professor of being racist because something he or she presented in the class had a slur. Like, you're not protecting or helping trans women by insisting that they're women the same way that women are. And, people try to be cool and calm and nice and say stuff like biological women. But just women, like trans women are trans women. They're not women. They're trans women. They are men. The whole reason why they're trans is because they're born in the wrong body. So in the case of a man feels like they're born in the wrong body, they are trans women. In the case of the case of a woman who's like, actually, I'm a man. Fuck this. They're trans men. When Bette Miller did this tweet, I don't remember the wording. I just saw it on YouTube where I guess they're trying to cancel her. But I'm glad she said what she said because, again, people need to start seriously pushing back against the excessive overreaction to someone disagreeing with them or not, buying into their bullshit, their excessive bullshit. So, her reaction to Roe v. Wade was like, women being stripped away of their rights. You can't even call a woman anymore. They got to be called birthing people, which is insane that people, particularly feminists, would be comfortable with reducing a woman to birthing people or people with vagina or people who menstruate. And then it's just really muddy how they debase language. Activists, I say they, I'm talking about activists, SJWs, feminists, loved when Trump became president. They loved to go into, it was 1984, but they debase language and they do newspeak more than anyone, insisting that a trans woman is a woman when everybody knows scientifically that's not true is insane. And the fact that we've gotten to the point where only a few years ago you could just say, hey, that's a trans woman, and not have to go beyond that. You don't have to go, oh, they're actually a woman though. Just because they have a dick doesn't mean that they're not a woman. Or, now that they've gotten, their dick removed, they are now just a woman because they removed the body part. Are you no longer a human being if you lose one of your, if you lose a leg? You say, hey, humans have 2 legs and 2 arms, typically. If you lose it, does that make you a non-human? No. Maybe the analogy is a little too wonky there, but all right, so let's see. A woke Universal Music Group worker claims he was fired for speaking up about abortion rights after he admitted he refused to work because he was in mourning over the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Michael Lopez, a production coordinator at Universal Enterprises, blasted the company as anti-gay for terminating a queer brown person during Pride Month for speaking up in defense of abortion rights, according to a lengthy note on LinkedIn that went viral last week. Last Friday, like countless other folks, you should have spelled folks F-O-L-X, to really bring his point home. I was devastated by the news of the Supreme Court's sick attack on abortion rights, Lopez wrote. Paired with the flood of anti-queer and anti-trans legislation, it's been hard to process how companies expect us to be productive while our rights are being stripped away. Okay, again, you're the ally in this situation. You not doing your work for your fellow men, women, etc., doesn't help anybody. You're not helping the cause by going, okay. Lopez then went on to explain that each Friday, one of my tasks was to process reports for upcoming releases and then to email his work to 275 people. But instead of doing the usual process reports, he wrote an email that read, I didn't do them today. I'm in mourning due to the attack on people with uteruses, not women, people with uteruses. Okay, so if I'm a trans man, I'm just going to take it as read that, hey, I'm saying I'm a man, but I have a uterus, or I had a uterus. I don't know what the process is to transition women to men besides, mastectomies. But so, okay, people with uteruses is a stupid thing. Attack on women. Just say attack on women because, a trans man's going to be like, yeah, I'm a man. And then they're going to do that. Like when it comes to something like, oh yeah, when women menstruate, blah, blah, blah. And the trans man's like, well, I don't know anything about that. I mean, I'm a man. So yeah, I don't think that applies to me. But of course, in a medical situation, they could just go to the doctor and be like, okay, I'm a trans man, but I'm having issues with my period, or I'm having issues with this, whatever is going on. You don't have to, like the Bette Midler thing where she was talking about women's rights being taken away from them, and the fact that you can't even say woman anymore. And then she was, they're trying to cancel her. There were people who were saying the inclusive language is important to the feelings of trans men. It was like, because I saw on Twitter when J.K. Rowling first went off about people who menstruate, they were saying that the reason why they use that language is because it's important medically for the doctor to know what they're dealing with, which is absolute bullshit. If you're writing a report talking about menstruation, women menstruate. Like the only reason why they say people menstruate has nothing to do with being medically accurate. It's just to, again, be inclusive, to make people's, and again, I don't think this is really trans men and trans women. These are activists who go overboard to speak for other groups and to decide what should be done. Like, we don't want to make a trans man feel bad that when they talk about menstruation, they're not included. If I'm a trans man, I'm just going to pretend I don't have menstruate. I don't have periods. I'm a man. I don't know anything about I don't know what you're talking about until there's a problem. Then I go, let me go to the doctor because, I'm a man, but I'm a trans man. I still got these other damn woman parts I shouldn't have to be dealing with. So this thing about, it's more inclusive and it's medically needed, because if a trans person gets into some kind of medical situation, even if they were unconscious, calling her her a person with a uterus isn't going to help the doctor in any way. The doctor's going to go, okay, here's this person here, looks like a dude. Oh, okay, looks like, now that I look more closely, appears to be a trans man. Okay, let's do what we need to do. It's like, okay, if this trans man, for instance, was knocked out, and then they started waking up, and the person said, okay, this is a man, so we got to make sure that we don't check their body. We're just going to do medical procedures that only men get. And then the trans man's waking up going, no, wait, don't actually do that, because really I was born a woman, but now I'm a trans man, so you can't do that procedure that you would do if I was a born male. Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. But anyway, like I said, so in other words, as a person, a trans man could just go to the doctor and be like, yeah, I'm trans, so this is, help me out. They don't have to be like, well, I'm a birthing person. No, but that's so fucking stupid. I'm not a birthing person. I'm a trans man. Just go to the doctor and say, I'm trans. And the doctor say, okay, cool, whatever. Let's check it out. Let's get it on, get decided. Let's see what's going on with you. But the inclusive language has nothing to do, again, with helping. It's just, activists think this shit is funny. They really do. Like, to them, it's all a game. How much bullshit can we put on people? And you have soft-headed people who buy into the stuff, Tumblr and Twitter. But there really is just a push to be insane and unreasonable and watch people dance and squirm. It's like that, I think it was Joe Rogan. Somebody, I think, might have been when Jordan Peterson was on Joe Rogan, but they were talking about how there was a video, I didn't see it, where the professor in the class, in the college or whatever, said something, and then, he was talking with his hands. And then someone in the class said him talking with his hands was a microaggression. And so he immediately put his hands down to his sides, and then everybody started laughing at him. And that's what a lot of this shit is. Pretending that you need to call women birthing people, pretending that you need to call women people who menstruate, or pretending that you don't know what a woman is, you can't define it. All of that is, hey, you know what? When you talk with your hands, it's a microaggression. I don't like you doing that. And then they want you to just go put your hands to the side and like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to offend you. Go fuck yourselves. I'm not, like I said, I'm not about that life. And the only reason why I like this article is because he walked into his fucking rake by playing this dumb game where he felt like he's entitled to be like, I don't like this political decision, so my company should just put up with it. Your company is separate from this shit. Do your fucking job. But this person felt like he had the right to go on this long diatribe in an email and then not do his work and then be surprised that they fired his ass. And then he's made it an issue of, they was anti-gay. And how could they do this on Pride Month? How could you be an idiot in Pride Month? You're not an ally. If you're getting yourself fired, if you can't do your work, if you're not smart enough to just be like, hey, look, I can't have an abortion, and I'm not going to get any of you bitches pregnant, but I'm here to help in any way I can. I'm sure that there's a lot of resources that we can find on the internet to help people who need abortions in states that will ban abortion. So don't worry, hold it together. We don't care if there's a bunch of stick in the mud people on the Supreme Court who, kicked it back down to the states. We'll still provide safe abortions for everyone when needed, something like that. But not, I didn't do my work today because I'm crying about Clarence Thomas doesn't like women. What is this? Okay, so do I care about this? I don't care about this. Oh, yeah, let's see. In the wake of the recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade, the company has extended its efforts to assure that these important healthcare services remain accessible to employees. So, Universal, as we wrote to our U.S. employees, UMG reviews reproductive health care as essential. So it's like these companies don't have to make these statements. They really fucking don't. If they want to, that's fine. But you have these goofballs in the companies, and you have people online telling them, you need to stand up against the Supreme Court and protect my rights. It's like, it looks stupid. It's down to you. Mobilize. And it's not even that hard these days. You sit there all day finding people to attack for all, it's like the most, like, what's the word? Like, inoffensive comments. They just make simple things like trans women are not women, they're trans women. And you mobilize an entire army of like 50 psychos to attack them with a bunch of sock puppet accounts. But you can't just go, oh, don't worry, it's bullshit. But what do you expect from these assholes in government? We'll make sure that, we'll get people taken care of. Not all this, it's anti-gay, anti-queer, anti-abortion. Look at these goofballs. Forced motherhood is feminine enslavement. Like I said, I'm pro-choice. But again, abortion is not banned across the country. It'll likely be banned in 20-something states. I think they were saying might ban it. But all those citizens have to do in those states is just fight against it. They don't have to be hooping and hollering about it either. They can just be like, hey, we're going to vote your monkey ass out. If you ban abortion, we'll make sure of it. We'll get a candidate who will fight back. And if the citizens of those states overwhelmingly are for abortion rights or pro-choice, then they'll be kicked out of there. Again, it's like and of course, women are emotional. People get emotional about things they care about. But again, like I said, if you're an ally, at least, if there's women women having conniption fits about it, which I can't imagine, for a day or two, I'll be mad or upset. But like I said, I would immediately just go, well, if I needed it, this is what I would do. If anybody needs it, this is what I would do. It seems like there's just excessive. Jesus Christ, it's like, I hope you don't hear that. I haven't eaten yet. And my stomach is protesting, me protesting, people protesting. No, but anyway. There's not much really to say about this incident. I just think it's funny he got fired. But I was looking for, oh, here it is. Okay, so I just looked, this picture stopped me from reading the rest. I mean, look, people doing this, I don't have a problem with this. I really don't. I mean, that's what they should do. As long as they're not beating people up, causing any trouble, they should speak out against it. I don't think this is not going to do anything to the Supreme Court. But again, like I said, all you do is make your voice heard. Any state that's going to ban abortion or has banned abortion, all you have to do is, vote these people out if if there's enough people in that state that are, pro-choice. If not, go get a GoFundMe. I'm sure there's going to be nonprofit groups out the wazoo for this sort of thing. Sometimes you just have to be smart and clever and just not need validation from, old fat guys in the Supreme Court or whatever. All right, let's see. Lopez's note on LinkedIn went viral. I hope you don't hear my stomach doing this, because this is going to ruin my, not this is the greatest recording ever, but I don't feel like keep doing this. Lopez's note on LinkedIn went viral, generating more than 3,200 reactions, some 250 comments, and more than 60 shares. Some commenters were supportive. Others were less sympathetic. I would have been one of these assholes. I would have been this guy. No. One LinkedIn user called Lopez, entitled Lazy and Obviously Ignorant, writing, yeah, this is pretty pathetic. You, a grown man, pretending to have grief so unbelievably unbearable over something that will never affect you in any way that you can't perform a simple task at work. Okay, I'm going to admit to the fact that I wrote that. No, I didn't write it, but That's something I would have wrote if I thought about it. Another LinkedIn commenter wrote, if you just sent the report like they ask every Friday, would you have lost your job? Most likely, no. No, he wouldn't have lost his job unless he did something else stupid. I like that this creature, this body, this monstrosity this body is on this extent. Yeah, I like that this raptor is so upset about the overturning of Roe v. Wade. I agree with this raptor. All right, but anyway. Another LinkedIn commenter wrote, that's the one, I already read that. The commenter added, okay, it's the same one though. The commenter added, you didn't lose your job based on your color or sexual orientation, so please stop thinking that. Your actions are childish cause for termination. Your actions are childish cause for termination. I don't know if I quite understand. I think I know what they're saying, but I don't know if it's said correctly, but I can't tell. My brain's melted, so. But we get his point. He's saying basically, you're the idiot who got yourself fired. And I entirely agree. This raptor, I'm kind of leaning towards this raptor's concern about everything. Because, yeah, it is regressive, I think. But again, it's just been kicked. It's not like it's been banned throughout the entire country. It's just been kicked back to the states. And again, if you're so sure about your position, then all you have to do is do what you need to do to take care of it. I don't mean act like a fucking idiot or changing the meaning of words and definitions of things. Just make your case for it and get people out of office, like vote their asses out, or help people go to states where it's going to still be legal. Another straight shooting critic pointed out, you made a stand based upon principle, but such stands come with consequences. That's what makes them brave. I respect your decision to withhold your labor as a form of protest, but you left your employer little choice. I mean, I don't think holding your labor from a company that has nothing to do with the decision of Roe v. Wade being overturned, blah, 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 makes sense. And I think if you put yourself in a position where now you're an invalid and you need a new job and you can't handle your shit because you've done something stupid. But, yeah, I mean, okay, that's it, I guess. Take care.